You sound like an NPR opening right there. Now back to Car Talk with Click and Clack.
So we're going to talk about what we're watching on the small screen, the television.
It's the small screen.
That's right.
Screen.
It's not
the small screen.
That's right. Screen. It's not the big. Yeah, I don't remember it.
I don't remember it either. So
we're going to have to record all of our jingles because we can never remember them.
And we just heard them in the beginning.
Yeah.
We need jingles.
We need some jinglies.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody can help us with jingles, and they write them. Once we get famous enough, then
I will totally
they write them, and we just go, that's not good enough.
Have you guys been listening to any of the Ron Burgundy podcasts?
No, not yet.
That was like episode 3 was
jingles.
A jingle. We need a real jingle because it's just him going do 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 do.
I can see that.
First episode, he calls Deepak Chopra on the phone.
Oh, really?
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
For real?
Yeah.
How'd
they
that
have.
go over?
It's hilarious.
Does he know that it's what's going on, Deepak Chopra?
Yeah, I don't think you get much past that guy.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to talk
TV.
about what we're watching on the TV. Who's going to kick this in the junk?
Well, you both looked at me, so I guess I'll go.
Well, I can start off.
Okay, so I guess I'll go.
Well, I can start off.
Okay,
I've got some actual TV stuff to say this time.
Okay.
A couple of shows that I've been watching. Have you guys watched Love, Death, and Robots?
Nope.
Okay, it's kind of like, remember Heavy Metal?
No.
Come on,
Yes.
the old cartoon series Heavy
Yes.
Metal. It was all kind of inappropriately adult.
Is this the show on Netflix?
Yes.
Okay.
Children and...
So
He's
I
got
can't
4
watch it.
nieces and nephews.
Oh, that's true.
So
And
what
I
was-
have odd children, too.
Well, yeah.
It's
Hey,
awesome, though.
you know about
They're
I
all
know.
little bitty... Some of them are 10 minutes long. Some of them are 20 minutes long.
Okay, that's in my
They're just like little bitty shorts, I guess you'd say. None of them are related to each other in any way that I can figure out. It's really good. It's really good. Some really cool storylines.
You said that's on Netflix?
Yeah, a lot of nudity, a lot of violence.
Nice.
Wait, I thought it was cartoon.
It is. Cartoons can be naked.
Naked cartoons.
Yeah.
That do it for me. I
Well, I don't-
Jessica Rabbit did not turn
I
me
didn't
on.
say it was gonna do it for you, but it's pretty. Pretty fun.
What do you mean by
It's pretty
do it
fun.
for you?
Yeah, it's pretty fun to watch.
Yeah.
Another one I like. Have you guys ever watched on Netflix as well? They're getting a lot of love today. Have you ever watched Santa Clarita Diet?
No.
My wife watched it.
I've kind of seen trailers, but I've never watched it. But I loved Timothy Olyphant.
Olyphant. Yeah,
Timothy
he's
Olyphant.
fantastic.
Yeah.
My wife watched
My wife.
the first 2 or 3 episodes and said it wasn't for her.
Okay.
So, if I'm going to watch it, I'm going to watch it by myself. What do you like about it?
Well, it's funny, but it's also. I know Othie's funny, but it's also. I know Othie likes snappy dialogue.
Yes.
And of most of the shows that I've seen on TV, they kind of do that. You say something, I say something, you say something, I say something. And this one is kind of that same format, but it is so funny. The crap they...
Okay.
She eats
She's
bad
trying
clams.
to find things to eat, right?
She eats bad clams, yeah. And so the whole, her neighbor is a cop and all this stuff.
So what does she eat now that she's a zombie?
People.
Okay, that's what I thought. And that's the whole diet portion of the title, right?
Yeah, and that's the whole problem. So
Are there multiple zombies, or is she the only one?
There are multiples, and that's interesting. And they're learning this lore about where this disease thing came from. It's like a Serbian.
How many seasons of this are there?
3. There's 3 seasons now.
okay.
Yeah. And dude, each one of them is funnier than the last one, and that is rarely done anymore.
I might pick that up.
I just think
for
it's
Timothy
so... Yeah, and he's great. I can watch that guy do... And he's funny because normally he is the badass. Because that guy does getting angry better than anyone I've ever seen on television
He's
ever.
a good straight man.
He's
a good straight man.
Well, like Deadwood
Yep.
and
Justified.
Yep. The other one, and Justified. Just when he gets mad, he's so good at getting mad. He does that Clint Eastwood
I didn't think
steaming.
this was Olyphant. I thought it was Josh Duhamel.
Okay.
There for the longest time.
I could see.
There for the longest time.
I could see that.
They do look a lot.
They
alike.
look a lot alike, and
Yeah.
I was like, "That's not Olyphant."
No, but it's Olyphant, and he's freaking awesome in this because of the 2, he's kind of the more sensitive one. And
she's not.
Well, yeah, because she's this super powered zombie lady now.
Right.
And he's this guy just trying to make things. He's constantly wanting to go back to the old way it was, but it's a whole new life form now. I just think it's great. It's hilarious. My wife loves it too.
That's good.
And some TV news that I've been following, the Gunslinger, The Dark Tower, coming to Amazon.
Really?
So Amazon was originally going to do a series that tied into the Piling Steam of Crap.
Movie, right?
That was the film for the Gunslinger, The Dark Tower. And so now they've decided, you know what, we're going to pretend like that film didn't happen.
Tell me about this film. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey.
You never seen The Dark
Never
Tower?
saw it.
They did The
No.
Dark Tower.
It's horrible.
Goodish, though. I mean, it's like
You never seen The Dark
Never
Tower?
saw it.
they did The
No.
Dark Tower.
It was
It's
horrible.
goodish, though. I mean, it's like something fun to watch on a Saturday afternoon, maybe. But
You get out of a pool on a...
yeah,
on a-
but the Dark Tower series is Stephen King's opus.
Oh, okay.
It's like a 13-book series.
Okay.
Well, there's a 13th book now. It was just 12 books, but they...
People love it. Like, read it, but
It's
if people
good.
read it,
Man,
love
it ties into everything. So it ties into a lot of his other books. Hearts in Atlantis.
It makes me think of a Western, is it not that?
It is a Western-ish type thing.
Have they cast for this yet?
Yes,
Who's the
yes.
Man in Black?
The Man in Black is a guy that you've never heard of.
Okay.
But he's from that show Vikings.
Okay.
And if you followed it into season 4, there's another Viking king that kind of shows up, and he's got this crazy brother whose head is half shaved, and he's got these blue tattoos going all across it, and he is the Man in Black, from what I understand. It's a younger guy. What was
So
his
nobody
name?
real famous. Is
Yeah,
what you're
nobody
saying.
real famous, but Brian Glazier and Opie Cunningham. What's his name?
Ron Howard.
Ron Howard are going to be executive producers.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and they
That
did
adds
the
something to it.
Glazier did the first that film that turned out to be crap. Ron Howard was going to do a whole series where it was going to be like 3 films and then 2 seasons of television series
Oh, wow.
that
So-
tied in the films.
Gotcha.
He was pot committed.
He was going to go all in, and then it just, by the time stuff got whittled away, and it wasn't even like a series of films. They just tried to put it into one film because I think they were like, okay, we've got the rights to this for another 10 minutes.
We gotta make something.
Let's make a movie.
Yeah.
McConaughey's on board. Elba's on board. Those guys should have done a
Let's
good
go
job. But so
You gotta give
I,
him something to work with.
I think with the scope of job, but so
You gotta
I,
give him something to work with.
I think with the scope of this series, this could be Amazon's Game of Thrones.
Gotcha.
Oh, cool.
It has potential to be their Game of Thrones
So they can make some money.
if they do it right. Yeah, if they do it right.
Okay.
So
Cool.
nervous, exciting.
You're sweating already.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Ish, maybe, hopefully. What else we got? TV Land. What you watching? What do we need to watch?
Go for it. You're nervous. It's
No,
okay.
I'm not nervous.
We're just
at all.
talking to this microphone. It's,
Hey, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Those aren't.
Watched the Umbrella Academy, and I watched it. I power watched it one weekend. What do they call that when you watch it all?
Binge.
Binge watching. I'm going to call it power watching because I feel like I burn more calories that way.
Yeah.
So, have you watched any of it?
yeah, I finished it. Did you? as
Yeah,
well?
yeah. I
So
thought
we
it
can
was.
talk about
Yeah,
that.
I liked it.
That's-
I don't know how I feel about it. So I've had a week to process how I feel about it, and I don't know how I feel. Why is that?
You're just like, I've had a week to process it, and I still don't know.
You also realize that when you talk into the microphone, this isn't actually group therapy. This is more is that when you talk into the microphone, this isn't actually group therapy. This is more. This is more just hey.
How do I put
Well, I
yeah.
don't know.
Are you on the fence about whether or not you liked it or not?
Yeah.
That's how I feel with Jack Ryan.
Really?
Jack Ryan, I power watched it over one weekend, and I was like, that was,
It's a TV show.
It was
yeah,
okay, yeah.
that was great.
I mean,
Ish.
Oh, okay.
I did read this week that they've been
Second
greenlit
season.
for a second season,
Yeah.
so that makes me feel better about it. But Ellen Page, if I could never watch her again,
Yeah.
it would be fantastic. She is just. If I could never watch her again,
Yeah.
it would be fantastic. She is just so deadpan.
Dull.
And then you put her as the main character, and the character of
I thought she was great.
Violent. I'm sure you did. Violin girl.
Yeah.
The deadly violin. It was like, what? The Dark Phoenix. And then you go through all. I mean, this is somebody who grew up watching X-Men and said, "Oh, I can do something similar." Now, you know that this was all written by the guy from My Chemical Romance.
No, I did not know that.
The lead singer of My Chemical Romance wrote the comic
the
book.
Umbrella Academy. Well,
Right.
good for him. It's good people can do two things.
Yeah,
you know?
I think the only reason this got publicity is because he wrote it, and then that's why it got where it did. The guy from the Space Boy that was on Game of Thrones, that was in the TV show.
Tom Hooper. He's also
Tom
on.
Hooper, right?
He was on the show, not the Vikings, the pirate movie, Black Sails.
Okay. The big strong guy.
Once again, a terrible character. A terrible character in my estimation. Everybody
no
else
real story arc.
Character in my estimation.
No
Everybody
real
else
story arc.
right. Now the little boy I really enjoyed.
How about Mary J.
Don't
Blige?
take that clip of me. Yeah.
She was fantastic.
She was
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that Mary J. Blige?
The interaction
Killed it.
between her and
Whatever.
the guy was fantastic. That made the movie to me, or the TV show. So I'm really on the fence. I'm going to watch the second season when it comes out, but it was very. I don't know where I stand still.
I like it. I feel like it's like Lemony Snicket's
Okay.
meets the X-Men.
Yeah,
Because it's kind of this...
Dancing in that one first scene, our first episode.
Yeah,
Cuts
it's
away, they're in the
all over
dollhouse,
the mansion.
I think
yeah.
We're Alone Now song.
Yeah. It's weird. It's quirky. But it does have enough of the superpower stuff to
Keep you entertained.
kind of get you going and stuff. I don't know. I thought it was good.
So you liked it.
I liked it.
I'm not saying I liked it enough that I watched all of it,
Yeah.
and then I'm looking forward to another season. I don't think I like the characters. I don't think that there's. I don't feel it.
I didn't like it at all. I thought it
You
was
didn't
just too
like
goofy.
it? Yeah, I like the
And
guys.
you watched the whole thing.
I watched all of them. I think Claus. If I just saw Claus in his own show, I'd be
That
happy.
got acting job.
He was over the top. I loved it, but it's just too. I think this is like I felt like this was a deep cut for real comic book like fans, and I'm not that. So I was like, I just don't get some of this, and
Right.
I don't know. I'm committed though. I watched the full season. I
Yeah.
will watch the next season.
If you're trying to compare it to like some
The next season.
if you're trying to compare it to like some of the mainstream superhero stuff, it's just not going to hold it.
Right.
But if you think of it as like
Something
a Lemony
standalone,
Snicket's,
yeah.
like a weird quirky world.
a one shot and off of or something like the Nemesis comic or something different.
Yeah. So it's definitely something different. Yeah.
I had so many questions. And it's just I don't know. That's just it.
We could sit and talk about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can keep going. What else you watch?
That's about it TV wise. I haven't watched a lot lately, so.
What you got, Oath?
I watched. I was going to do Umbrella Academy, but I also watched one called Gunpowder.
I thought there was a movie, but that wasn't a movie.
It's a
TV
mini
show.
series.
Okay.
So there's 3
I'll take it.
episodes. Yeah, 3
I'll take it.
episodes. Yeah, it was great. It's Kit Harington. Am I saying
Yep.
that right? He plays. Oh gosh, dang it! It's basically he's not it, but it's Guy Fawkes, and they're trying to blow up Parliament. We've all heard that story.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And at first I'm like, what is this I'm watching? It's really good. But as you watch it, and I put my review up online, you notice it's pretty much half of the characters.
Yeah, well, they gotta
We've got
have something
3
to do in
months.
the off season.
That's just
Yeah,
it. This is
yeah.
our off-season passion
Yeah.
project, and it was really, really good. In
Okay.
fact, when it ended the 3rd episode, I'm like, oh no. I'm like, there's only 3 and I want more. So
Yeah.
Okay.
the producers did a good job.
So there's only 3 episodes.
3 episodes are
Okay.
about an hour long, but it's not really fast, but they developed the world pretty well.
That's good. I mean,
I
that
like
sounds
that.
good to me. That's a heck of a recommendation, I think.
Yeah, something different.
You've seen it, Eric, or no?
No.
Okay, so no, that's good. I like it when we bring something that we haven't seen.
Okay. It's
we
quick.
can see,
You can
yeah.
watch it in an afternoon and be like,
Absolutely.
okay.
Santa Clarita Diet, the episodes are about a half an hour.
Oh, I like that.
Episodes are about a half an hour.
I like that.
So that's
okay.
that I kind of like.
Because then you don't feel like you're. Fully
Sometimes
invested.
I don't have, but you know what? We watched the whole season. I think there's 8 episodes in one night.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that was what we did Friday night.
That's why I like Silicon Valley, because it's 30 minutes. They're quick. That's why I like Ballers.
Yeah.
So you watched Silicon Valley?
Uh-huh. I
Oh my
haven't
god!
seen the newest one.
I've only been through like 3 seasons, but that show
It's
is
great.
hilarious. There is
It is
the
funny.
scene where they're talking about mean jerk time.
Yes. And then they can come with the algorithm.
I've
You're
only
talking-
watched one episode.
You've never watched it?
The episode I watched was funny, but I hadn't seen any of the rest of the season. Watched was funny, But I hadn't seen any of the rest of the
The guy-
series.
Okay.
The whole story there is he's like, I'd have a better shot on this presentation if I just jerked everybody off in the audience. And so they're figuring out, while
did you
he's
do that?
solving the real problem,
Yeah.
they're figuring out how quickly they could jerk off everybody in
Oh
the
my
room.
god.
That's related news.
Okay, we'll take some TV news too.
Okay, is that okay?
Slap it
so
on me.
I think the biggest one is the Game of Thrones. And that's 2 weeks away. And
I've never watched any of that Game of Thrones.
It's a new upcoming show, and it's now 8th season.
You have seen it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I've watched it twice.
the first 3 episodes are basically an hour long, and then it gets bonkers. Then you're looking at 90-minute episodes after that for the
That's
next
awesome.
3. But there's only 8 episodes or 6 total, so it's gonna be a quick season,
Oh
unfortunately.
man.
There's been a lot of news on this, and they've done some new character posters. And my question to you guys that you've seen, have you seen all the seasons?
Yeah,
You're all caught up?
twice.
So my question is this: who would you like to see actually win and sit on? Who would you like to see actually win and sit on the throne? But who do you actually think it'll be? So who would you like to see win, and then who do you really think
I think
is going to win?
I think the Ice King is going to be sitting on that throne.
You do.
So that's who you think, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see that there's any way to defeat him.
I think, Dragon Glass.
Any way to defeat him.
I think, Dragon Glass.
Yeah.
But
But
still,
All 5
He took
pieces
that-
they
yeah.
own.
I think Kit Harington
You think
sits
John-
on the throne.
Is that who you
and
want, or that's who you think?
That's who I think. And Khaleesi dies.
Oh, I think Harrington's going to die.
Think so?
Yeah, for real this time.
Yeah. See, I want. Sorry, that's what I want.
There you go.
But I think Cersei's going to be the one at the end.
You think so?
She's just so ruthless and
Yeah.
doesn't care. I think she'll.
She's
she'll
the one
win
that
it.
has
Yeah.
who's willing to do it
Yeah.
enough to do it.
What do we do when this is over?
Well, the
What's
prequels are coming
next?
out. The
Oh.
prequels.
Is it going to have the same people in it?
Well, they're going to talk about the story about, I think, how the what are they called? How they
Mm-hmm.
become to fruition or whatever, and
Okay.
kind of that how the Mad King. I think it's going to be all about the Mad King.
Gotcha.
I think it's going to be a young Ned Stark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you never said who you want, though. You both said who you think. Who would you like it to be, though, on the throne at the end?
I'd like it to be Khaleesi.
You want it to be Khaleesi?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a badass.
She's a badass,
I
and
could see
and
that.
she makes good decisions. So if
I'm
you want a
with you.
happy ending, it's going to go for that.
I'm going to go with Dinklage. I think
I love that Peter
the
up there.
progression
The
of that
Dinkster,
character
yeah.
has been fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm not a huge nerd on this type of stuff, but this show it got me, and so
This one I'll watch the night of kind of thing.
I watched
This one I'll watch the night of kind of thing.
I watched
Mm-hmm.
I power watched it, and then I went back and I watched it again to pick, and it's amazing what you pick up the second time now that you understand the story.
Yeah.
But
I might have to do that. That sounds like a fun week.
Well, I wouldn't have got into this if it weren't for you. I was laid up, and he's like, "Here's season 1. You might like this." And then my mom was separated from the surgery. She's like, "Why are you always on your laptop? What are you watching?" I'm like, Russell gave me these Game of Thrones. Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Leave me alone.
There's a lot of boobies, Mom. Don't watch it with
Oh
me.
no, I
You
love
know what,
making.
though?
I made my mom watch all of Spartacus with me because she was so uncomfortable, and it was so funny.
the one thing I don't like about Game of Thrones is they find a way to get my attention on something and then pop a dick in there. And I'm like, come on.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, that's terrible.
That does happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's terrible.
That's really all I've got.
Have you guys heard
that's-
any preview thing for HBO where it shows some clips from Westworld and Game of Thrones and things like that? And it shows a brief clip
of
of The Watchmen.
and it shows the
Rorschach.
comedian and Rorschach. doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
I've seen
And-
that. I didn't realize I was seeing that.
And they look like they're really like low budget costumes.
Yes.
Oh, neat.
Which is an interesting way to go. Which is an interesting way to go instead of having everybody in these
A super.
super cool costumes where
Uh-huh.
these guys are just kind of nuts.
Yeah, because I mean they're gonna do the prequels, but what's their next Game of Thrones? Are they counting on that? I mean,
I
what's
don't
their next-
know, but I'm really interested to see what's going to happen with it. I love
What's
that.
their biggest like?
Be interested to see what's going to happen with it. I love
What's
that.
their biggest like 1 hour block of programming? That's a show that's 1 hour other than Game of Thrones on HBO. What do they have? What's like?
They're still doing that Ballers, aren't they?
That's 30 minutes.
Do they do that Bosch?
Okay.
Is Bosch on them?
No, I think that's Showtime.
No, I don't
Because I
know.
think Bosch and Ray Donovan are both Showtime.
Westworld.
Oh yeah, okay.
I haven't seen the second season yet, but I
haven't.
should.
I want to see that. I watched all of the first, and
I never understood the first. I'm like, what am I watching? I'm not smart enough to watch this. Like a and I'm not. It's
You
fun.
are.
Do you guys watch anything on?
We'll make some notes.
I mean, apparently, I need to watch Peaky Blinders.
Oh, it's so good.
It is good. It is good.
Just the opening, the Red Right Hand, that song. Oh, it's such a good show.
Is there anything mainstream that you guys are watching on TV that we're to talk about?
Nope.
I will say I'm kind of addicted to this new show. It's embarrassing. The Titan Games that The Rock hosts.
Oh, you watched that?
I really
3 or 4 episodes.
I really like it.
And about the 4th episode, it was the same show over and over again.
It's just, Taylor and I like to gamble on it. All right, who you taking? That's kind of what we do. Who are you taking tonight? I'm taking that guy. And then it kind of gets interesting.
That might make it a little more fun.
But I think The Rock, he's just
I want to know what you're betting here.
You would not want to.
One of my favorite series like that of all times is...
Gladiators?
No, not Gladiators, but that is a great series. Never mind. I can't
Ninja
remember.
Warrior?
No. It's not like an action battle one. It's where they race around the world.
Oh,
Amazing Race?
Why could I not
we
remember
watched the
that?
crap out of that back
Oh,
in the day.
dude,
You
it's on
remember?
Hulu. There's like 14 seasons on Hulu.
Okay.
Start watching it. It is so good.
Yeah.
It is.
And especially if you want to watch it with Taylor, because you can think, man, I would so yell at you right now.
Yeah.
You know, because it's a lot of times it's couples and stuff, and they're doing all these tasks. And they have these goofy things to do, and it's just like the hardest part of that whole series is maintaining the friendship
With that
or the
person.
relationship with the person that you're on there with. You know.
Well, she did get me. I don't really like it, but she likes watching this Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I watched all
It's
of that.
funny. It's funny.
I like it because it's 30 minutes.
Sandberg is funny.
It's funny, and Terry is hilarious, but Gina's great. But it's like, if you want to watch it, that's fine.
Well, to me, it's like Always Sunny. I don't go run to the TV when the new one comes on.
Nope.
Right.
But I'll watch 2 or 3 episodes,
Yep.
you know.
Well, Bridget and I have always watched The Blacklist, since day one.
Mm-hmm.
And so all this important stuff is happening this season. There's a secret that's been going on since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got to tell the story that this last episode, I'm watching it, and Bridget starts...
Is a big spoiler alert here?
No.
Okay.
No. Bridget starts to talk to me, and I say to her, Bridget, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Can you hold off for a second?
She kill you?
And no, she's like, okay. And so it gets to commercial, and she goes, hey, do you know what I think's going on? And I said, no. And she lays it out, and I'm like, holy shit, you just figured the whole freaking thing out.
Yeah.
Here I am being real smart.
She read it
I'm trying to
online.
figure this out.
I've never heard of this. The Blacklist?
It's really good.
Never
With
heard of it.
James Spader?
We watched the first 4 seasons of it,
Uh-huh.
and I just
It's on
kind of
Netflix. You can
lost track
catch
of it.
up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
So much to watch.
she told me that, and you could have slapped me. I was like, you could have slapped me. I was like, how did you figure that out?
Yeah.
Because I'm not an idiot. That's what. So, yeah, good show to watch, and so. All right, I think that's all we got for television.
The TV news I've got.
The small
to share.
screen.